Alright guys, welcome back. Today we're going to make the vertical Haute bag. I believe it's H-A-U-T-E. Vertical hot bag maybe by Parker on the Porch. It's really cute. This one is made in 2 hoopins and I thought I would do it in some Halloween fabrics. So let's get started. The first thing you need is tearaway stabilizer. And of course, as always, the first thing we're going to do is run the placement lines directly on to the stabilizer. And what I have here loaded into the machine is the pocket piece. It has 2 files in the design when you download it, and this is the pocket piece. Okay, so now the next thing you do after it has done the placement lines, you want to lay your fabric down. If it's directional or however you want to lay it down, making sure that you cover up the whole thing. And I've left, well, you can't see. See, I've laid it way up here, and I've left some extra down here at the bottom. Just, it's easier to place it in the bag if you leave a little extra. So don't cut this piece or the inside lining piece of this short. You want to kind of leave them a little long. Now it's going to sew a little line right here, a curve. Before I go any further, I'm going to put my logo on this real quick. So give me just a second. Alright guys, so here I am. I've got my logo embroidered. I'm going to take my lining fabric and place it face down. Mine is non-directional. I'm going to place it face down and I'm going to cover it all up. And so this step, the very last one of the pocket piece. Alright, let me hoop another piece of tearaway and I'll be right back. Alright guys, so what I have here is another piece of tearaway stabilizer. And I have file number 2 loaded into my machine. That's the part that's going to assemble our bag. So first step is to run the placement lines on the tearaway stabilizer. Okay, so now you want to take your zipper. I know mine's really long. As long as a zipper that you need is a little bit, maybe an inch bigger than your placement lines here. I like my bag to open from the left to the right, so I'm going to have my zipper pull here, facing up, and I'm going to line it up. Let me see if I can get over here to you so I can show you. You see right there? So I'm going to line up the bottom of my zipper right on this line right here. So I'm going to take the bottom of this zipper tape and I'm going to line it up where I can still see the line, but it's right there on it. So kind of like that. So you can still see the line, but it's right there on it. You can tape it in place if you like. I'm just going to hold it as it sews it across. Remember your zipper needs to be face up. I'm just going to hold it as it sews across. Step number 2 is going to put our zipper in. Okay, so the next piece we need is our pocket piece that we made earlier. And on our placement lines, it did this line right here. So you want to line up this piece right here with that line. And this piece right here, you want to just cover up the zipper line. Okay? So I'm going to do that, and then I'll show you how it looks. And so that's what it looks like. I have that line lined up with that zipper line there, maybe just a little bit lower down so that it doesn't catch, you don't see it on the other side. And I have this lined up right with this line that's going down. And I have it off the top of my hoop. So very carefully, so we don't knock it out of place, I'm going to put this on, and it's going to sew right across here. For some reason mine did not sew. Let me try that again. Okay, I'm going to remove this piece of tape right here because I don't want to have it in my bag. So now that it's sewed on, I'm just going to remove that piece. Making sure everything else is good and caught. And it is. Alright, so step number 4, what you want to do is you want to take your lining piece, the piece you want for your lining, and you want to flip your hoop over. And where your zipper teeth is, you want to lay it face down and cover your zipper teeth. Line it up with the bottom of your zipper teeth and tape it in. So that's what mine looks like. Okay, so then again, you've got the pocket piece flipped up, and now you have the lining piece flipped up. And mine just caught on my machine bed, so I'm going to fix that. My tape did. Okay. Got lots of pieces to keep out of the way. This is step number 4. Okay, so I'm gonna make sure everything's laying flat. Okay, and then I'm gonna take the piece that I want for the outside. I'm gonna lay it right side down and line it up with the top of the zipper teeth. Right there. And sew it down. Okay. Step number 5 is to take only your lining, only your outside fabric. Finger press it, make sure it's laying nice and smooth like you want it, and run step number 5. Step number 6 is to take your pocket piece, and there's 2 of them, so make sure you get them both. Fold everything down nice and straight like you want it, just like that, and run step number 6. Okay, so that's what the front of our hoop looks like. It's got our pocket here. This is what the back of your hoop looks like. So now you're going to take these pieces of tape off. Fold your lining down. Kind of finger press it at the top across the zipper. Give it a little snug tug pull and tape it down. Mine's a little long on the end, so I'm going to cut some of mine off. It's going to give me room to tape it. Okay. So that's what the back of mine looks like. It's folded down here, and I have it taped. So now we're going to put it back in our hoop and do step number 7. Back in our machine, I'm sorry, not hoop. And do step number 7. Yay, we're almost through, guys. We got 2 more steps. So that's what the front of it looks like. And that's what the back of it looks like. It's good and tacked down all the way around. So now we're going to open the zipper. If you don't open the zipper, you won't be able to use it. So I have it opened about 3/4 of the way. Okay? And I'm going to put it back on the machine. Get in there. There we go. Now I have this little piece because I want to hang mine. I want to clip it on my bag. So what I did is I took this is a 1-inch lobster clasp, swivel lobster clasp. I took a 2-inch piece of the vinyl that I'm going to put on the back. I folded it in half. Let's see if you can get in there. Nope. I folded it in half towards the center, and then I just sewed down 1/8 of an inch down both sides with my regular machine. So I'm going to take that, put my hardware towards the inside, and I'm going to tape it down about right there. Okay. And then I'm also going to take a piece of tape, and I'm going to tape my piece of hardware down just so it's not jumping and jiggling everywhere. Like that. Okay. So now comes the back of the bag. This is just, I don't think I said this, on the back of all of my, let me show you. On the back of all of my outside pieces, which were the pocket pieces and were these 2 pocket pieces right here, the first hooping, and then this piece right here, I put Woven Fuse 2 on the back of them. That was what I stabilized them with. It's just my preference. You can use a medium weight stabilizer. I do suggest it be woven. You can use SF101, which is very close to Woven Fuse 2, but if you've never used Woven Fuse 2, I suggest you give it a try. It's amazing stuff. So on the back of my vinyl, I have absolutely nothing, no interfacing, no nothing, and I'm going to lay it face down, right side down. And I'm just going to kind of make sure everything's lined up, everything's covered up. All these lines, you know, where it's sewed, all of them are covered up. And I'm going to stitch step number 8. You can take this down if you don't feel comfortable holding it. I hate these pre-wound bobbins that I got, this last order that I got, because when you get to about the end of the bobbin, it comes out of the tension and it doesn't sew. So you're going to rethread your bobbin. Alright, so let me start that again. I will mention why this is sewing. I have my machine slowed way down because there's a lot of layers that it's sewing through, plus a layer of vinyl. And then where I put that hook thing at, that's 4 layers of vinyl. So I don't want to snap a needle, so I've slowed my machine all the way down. So that's why it's stitching so slow. Alright, so now we're going to take our hoop off the machine and we're going to turn it over. Oh, we didn't even cut the bobbin thread that time. Let me just put a new one in. I don't look at my junk drawer. Okay. Didn't give me quite enough room to get it down there to the cutter. You're in my way. Well, shoot. There we go. Okay, so now flip your hoop over to the back. Take your last piece of lining fabric and you want to place it face down, making sure you cover up all the placement lines. And tape it down. We're not going to have the same thing that happened last time, so I'm going to really tape this down on all 4 corners. I don't want this to be folded up as it goes around. There we go. So I've got it pretty good and taped down on all 4 corners. I'm going to put it back on the machine. And I'm going to peek this time as well and make sure everything's laying flat. So now what it's going to do is it's going to go all the way around again, but it's going to leave our opening on this side for us to turn the bag inside out. Doing some reinforcement stitches right here and right here, so the pressure of us turning the bag inside out, it doesn't rip these stitches. So now it's going to come back around to here and it'll be through and we'll be ready to cut it out. Alright guys, so this is what the front of the hoop looks like. And this is what the back of the hoop looks like. So now we can take off all the tape. Okay, and free it from the hoop. And I'm going to pull the stabilizers off. Tearaway stabilizer. Alright, so where it left the opening at, on this side, let's see, right here, it's between here and here. You don't want to cut that part, so I'm going to cut up diagonally on this side up to the stitches, and then I'm going to diagonally cut up to this side through all the layers up to the stitches. So that's what I've done. So now I'm going to flip it over to this side because I can see the lines better, and I'm going to cut all the way around this, cutting the zipper off. I'm going to go about 1/4 inch all the way around. I'll move this out of the way and cut that off. So we have this funny looking thing. I'm going to go a little closer in this corner. I didn't get quite. There was a bunch of bulk there. Everything else looks good. Okay. So flip it back over to your lining. And the only two pieces you really need are this piece here and this piece. So your two lining pieces. So if you'll take them and move them out of the way, then you can come in here and you can cut all this bulk out of here where you got to turn it. So just like that. So get your lobster clasps. Oh, excuse me. And your Fabri-Tac beacon Fabri-Tac glue, because you're going to need both of them. Now let's turn this right side out. I'm going to reach into one of the corners and flip it. And just kind of push it out with my thumb. I'm going to be real careful though, even though it gives you the tacking stitches on the side, you can still rip your fabric. In fact, you'll rip your fabric instead of the stitches if you push too hard on this bag. Alright, there we go. So I'm just going to work the corners a little bit and get them nice and how I want them. They don't have to be perfect right now because we're going to flip them again, but it is easier to flip it the second time if you go ahead and get all your corners pressed out now. Okay. So that's what we got. So this is our stabilizer where the zipper's at, and this is our hole. Black probably wasn't a good idea for me to choose for a video. I apologize for that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this over past the sewing stitches, and I'm going to put some clamps. 3 or 4 for now. So that's what I've done. And then I'm just going to tuck this one in and make it line up. You don't want your lining to be saggy, so you want it to be kind of snug in there. So like that. There's a little bobble right there. There we go. So that's what I've got. So now I'm going to take my Fabri-Tac glue. Okay. And I'm going to put it on the stitches. Tuck it in there, press it down, and clip it. Move the next one down. Tuck it in there, and clip it. Move down to the next one. I think I actually will do 2. So you can see what I'm doing. I'm just putting some glue right on the stitch line. And I'm just putting a little tiny bit of this goes a long way, guys. Okay, so I'm going to get this last one. As many clips as you think you need. I just like to clip mine all the way across so that I know it's caught all the way across. Alright, this is going to take 2 minutes to dry. While it's drying, what we're going to do is come up here to our zipper, and if I can get a hold of it. Well, I'm going to pull it open. There we go. And then I'm going to clean out all of this stabilizer that's right here. I don't know if you can see, there's a placement line right here. You can just pull this out, or you can clip it. This is just a placement thread. It's not holding anything in. And then just clean out all of the stabilizer. And I'll be back in 2 minutes. Alright guys, it's been 2 minutes. I have my zipper as clean as I can get it. I mean, you can get in there with some tweezers. Doesn't have to be perfect. Nobody's really going to see that. I'm going to reach in there and open my zipper completely. I'm going to take these off because it should be dry. And it is. Everything's closed in nicely there. So now we're going to turn it through the zipper. I'm going to reach into the bottom, push in a quarter if I can. My fingers are weak today. There we go. Excuse me. I'm going to take my chopstick and stick it in there, and I'm going to make sure my corners are good and poked out. You want to be real careful when you do this, because you can poke through. I've done it. It's not pretty. You get really upset after all this work that you've put into it. You can remove this piece of tape holding your lobster clasp down. I'm going to zip this zipper in just a little bit so I can get my finger into this corner to work it out. And then I'm going to work this corner out. Now where you see your vinyl wants to roll here, what you can do is take it and pinch it and kind of roll it with your fingers and wiggle it really hard back and forth. And that kind of presses it. Also too, I'm going to give this bag a press when I get through. So I'm going to cover it with like a pressing cloth or Teflon sheet. When I fuse interfacing from my other bags to the vinyl, I use a Teflon sheet, so that's probably what I'll do, and press it. Look how cute, because this is a big old pocket. Like my whole hand will fit in this pocket. It's a big old pocket. It's really cute. You see how big this pocket is? This is a big old can. It fit in the pocket, guys. Yeah. Isn't that cute? And that's the back. This is, again, the vertical Haute bag by Parker on the Porch. I think it's really cute, guys. It's adorable. So, see this bag I did yesterday, or the last video. You can take it and clip it on here. Look how adorable they are together. Or you can put it on the inside, clip it on the inside of just your regular bag. Or just a standalone bag. You can drop your phone in here. Your wallet and your phone. And there you go. Your phone will probably fit in this pocket. And then drop you some ID in that one, and you'll be ready to go to town when everything opens back up. So just play with it and press it. Get your vinyl out like you like it. Alright guys, if there's a video that you'd like for me to make for you, a design that you'd like for me to do, please leave it in the comments below. I'll see it down there and I'll do my best to make it for you.